Charles Bronson didn't just carry guns in westerns. He transformed them into extensions of pure menace that other actors could never match. While Hollywood stars posed with props, Bronson demanded authentic frontier iron and understood that silence speaks louder than dialogue when you're holding the right weapon. Today, we're revealing the 11 legendary firearms that made Charles Bronson the most intimidating presence in Western cinema. Number 11. Colt, Single Action Army, The Foundation of Fear, Multiple Films. Every Charles Bronson Western begins with the same truth. The Colt Single Action Army isn't just a gun. It's a statement about the man who carries it. Bronson understood that the peacemaker reveals character through restraint, not showmanship. His characters don't twirl their revolvers or quick draw for the camera. They simply exist with lethal capability, and the Colt SAA communicates that reality without a single word spoken. The Single Action Army's .45 Colt chambering drives a 255-grain lead bullet through barrels ranging from 4.75 to 7.5 inches at 860 feet per second, delivering 420 foot-pounds of bone-crushing authority. Weighing 2.5 pounds loaded with 6 rounds of frontier justice, this weapon demands conscious intent from every man who draws it. The single action mechanism forces you to cock the hammer before each shot, transforming every trigger pull into a deliberate moral decision. Bronson's relationship with the peacemaker defined his Western persona across decades of films. Watch his hands in The Magnificent Seven. Watch his eyes in Once Upon a Time in the West. The gun never moves unless it absolutely must, and when it does, someone dies. This isn't acting. This is understanding that true danger doesn't announce itself. It simply waits with absolute certainty. Between 1873 and 1941, Colt manufactured over 357,000 of these revolvers. But in Bronson's hands, each one becomes something beyond metal and mechanism. It becomes the physical manifestation of consequence. His characters don't threaten, they promise. And the Colt Single Action Army is the signature on that promise. Original Colt SAAs from the Frontier era now command $8,000 to $25,000 at auction, depending on condition and provenance. Modern reproductions by manufacturers like Uberti and Cimarron run $1,000 to $2,000, offering authentic handling characteristics that modern shooters and collectors demand. This foundation of restrained lethality leads us to Bronson's first evolution in tactical thinking. Number 10. Winchester Model. 1892, The Silent Enforcer, Breakheart Pass, 1975. In Breakheart Pass, Bronson plays John Deacon, a mysterious prisoner being transported across frontier wilderness. The Winchester Model 1892 carbine he eventually wields tells you everything about this character's true nature before the script reveals it. This isn't a tool for conversation. It's an instrument of calculated violence, wielded by a man who understands that survival requires superior firepower and absolute competence. The Model 1892's .4440 Winchester chambering launches a 200-grain bullet from its 20-inch barrel at 1,190 feet per second, delivering 630 foot-pounds of devastating energy. Weighing 6.5 pounds with a 10-round tubular magazine, this lever-action rifle represents John Moses Browning's refinement of the lever-action concept into something approaching perfection. Bronson's Deacon handles this rifle with professional efficiency that reveals his character's true background. The smooth lever manipulation, the instinctive shouldering, the calm precision under pressure. These aren't learned behaviors. They're ingrained responses from a man whose life has depended on this exact weapon for years. When the conspiracy unravels and Deacon's true identity emerges, audiences realize the Winchester was telling them the truth all along. The Model 1892 wasn't just an improvement over earlier Winchesters. It was a revolution in reliability and strength. Browning's design featured a vertical locking system that was significantly stronger than the toggle link system of the Model 1873, allowing it to safely handle more powerful cartridges. In the brutal conditions of Breakheart Pass, with sub-zero temperatures and desperate combat, Mechanical reliability wasn't optional. Winchester manufactured over 1 million Model 1892 rifles between 1892 and 1941, making it one of the most successful lever actions ever produced. The carbine configuration that Bronson uses provided full rifle accuracy while maintaining the maneuverability needed for close-quarters combat aboard a moving train. Original Winchester 1892 carbines in good condition sell for $1,200 to $3,500, while modern reproductions by Rossi and Chiappa run $500 to $900. The film's armorer selected an authentic period piece to ensure visual accuracy in close-up shots, but lever rifles have reload limitations that truly dangerous men always consider. Number 9. Remington. 1858. New Army, The Practical Choice, Chatto's Land, 1972. Chatto's Land cast Bronson as Pardon Chatto, an Apache half-breed forced to fight for survival against a posse of wealthy manhunters. His choice to carry the Remington 1858 New Army revolver reveals a character who values function over flash, strength over style. This wasn't the most famous percussion revolver of its era, but it was arguably the best, and Chatto knows the difference. The Remington 1858's 44 caliber chambering fires a 220 grain lead ball at approximately 800 feet per second, delivering 312 foot-pounds of stopping power through barrels ranging from 5.5 to 8 inches. Weighing 2.75 pounds with a 6-round capacity, this percussion revolver featured something revolutionary for its time: a solid top strap over the cylinder. That top strap made the Remington significantly stronger and more accurate than the open-top Colt designs it competed against. The frame didn't flex under recoil, maintaining more consistent point of aim. For a man like Chatto, who's being hunted across brutal desert terrain by men with superior numbers and resources, mechanical strength and accuracy become survival requirements, not preferences. Bronson's handling reveals Chatto's intimate familiarity with this weapon. The careful loading sequence, the precise percussion cap placement, the confident aim despite the weapon's limitations. These are the movements of a man who's kept himself alive with this exact revolver through countless previous encounters. When he finally faces his tormentors, the Remington becomes an extension of his will to survive. The 1858 was favored by many cavalry officers and frontiersmen who understood firearms deeply enough to appreciate superior design over famous names. The solid frame also made the Remington easier to disassemble and clean, a critical advantage in the dusty conditions of the American Southwest. Original Remington 1858 revolvers in good condition command $2,000 to $6,000, depending on model and markings. Modern reproductions by Pieta and Uberti run $350 to $600, offering authentic shooting characteristics for modern enthusiasts. Yet sometimes the situation demands something more unconventional than standard weapons can provide. Number 8. Mare's Leg, The Rebel's Tool, The Magnificent Seven, 1960. In The Magnificent Seven, Bronson plays Bernardo O'Reilly, the veteran gunfighter with a professional understanding of violence. His choice to occasionally use a mare's leg, a cut-down Winchester carbine, signals his willingness to embrace unconventional tactics when conventional approaches won't work. This hybrid weapon combines rifle power with handgun portability, creating something that exists outside normal categories, just like the Seven themselves.
They were only 7, but they fought.
The mare's leg configuration features a Winchester action with a drastically shortened barrel, typically 12 inches, and a cut-down stock that allows one-handed operation. Chambered in 44-40 Winchester, it fires that same 200-grain bullet, but with reduced velocity due to the shorter barrel, approximately 900 feet per second, delivering 360 foot-pounds of energy. This weapon wasn't historically common because it represented compromises that most men wouldn't accept. You sacrificed rifle accuracy and velocity for portability. You gained concealment but lost effective range. But for a man like O'Reilly, operating in situations where standard rules don't apply, those compromises become tactical advantages. The mare's leg could be hidden under a coat, drawn faster than a rifle, yet still delivered rifle-caliber power at close range. Bronson's character uses this weapon during specific tactical situations where its unique characteristics provide advantages. The film's armorer created multiple mare's legs for production, ensuring consistency across multiple takes. The distinctive appearance made it instantly recognizable to audiences, adding to the film's visual language of unconventional heroism. The mare's leg gained cultural immortality through Steve McQueen's use in the television series Wanted Dead or Alive, but its appearance in The Magnificent Seven reinforced its status as the weapon of choice for men who operate outside normal boundaries. The configuration was technically illegal under the National Firearms Act without proper registration, making it a symbol of rebellion against established order. Modern mare's leg reproductions by Rossi and Chiappa, manufactured as pistols from the factory to comply with federal law, run $600 to $900. Original cut-down Winchesters require expensive tax stamps and transfer procedures, making them rare and valuable collectibles commanding $3,000 to $8,000. But O'Reilly's tactical thinking extended beyond unconventional long guns to smart sidearm selection. Number 7. Smith & Wesson Schofield, The Cavalry Advantage, Breakheart Pass, 1975. Charles Bronson's John Deacon doesn't just carry a Schofield in Breakheart Pass. He carries the weapon that professional soldiers preferred over the more famous Colt. This choice reveals Deacon's military background and his understanding that tactical superiority comes from smart equipment selection, not brand recognition. The Schofield's innovative top-brake design solved the one critical weakness that killed more gunfighters than poor aim: slow reloading under pressure.
The major's just in bag.
The Schofield's 45 Schofield chambering fires a 230-grain bullet at 730 feet per second, delivering 270 foot-pounds of reliable stopping power through its 7-inch barrel. Weighing 2.5 pounds with a 6-round capacity, this revolver's true advantage wasn't raw power. It was speed when lives depended on getting back into the fight. While Colt users fumbled with loading gates and ejector rods, Schofield shooters broke open the action and dumped all 6 spent cases simultaneously. Fresh cartridges dropped in, the frame snapped shut, and you were ready. In sustained combat aboard a moving train with multiple hostiles, this speed advantage became the difference between survival and death. Bronson's handling demonstrates professional competence. The smooth break-open action, the efficient reload, the calm under fire. Deacon isn't showing off. He's executing learned procedures that have kept him alive through previous engagements. When the film's final confrontation arrives, audiences understand this man's capability comes from experience, not luck. The United States Army purchased 8,285 Schofields between 1875 and 1877. Many cavalry officers preferred them over the standard-issue Colt because mounted combat demanded weapons that could be reloaded with one hand while controlling a horse with the other. The Schofield delivered that capability. The shorter 45 Schofield cartridge was specifically designed for reliable extraction, ensuring the top brake mechanism functioned flawlessly even in harsh field conditions. This attention to practical reliability over maximum power reflected the thinking of professional soldiers who understood that a working gun beats a powerful gun that malfunctions. Original Smith & Wesson Schofield revolvers, especially military-marked examples, command $4,000 to $15,000 at auction. Modern reproductions by Uberty and Taylors run $900 to $1,400, offering authentic handling for modern shooters. Sometimes, though, the situation demands even more devastating firepower than any handgun can provide. Number 6. Winchester Model. 1873. The Gun That Won the West. Chino, 1973. In Chino, Bronson plays a half-breed horse rancher trying to live peacefully despite society's prejudice. His Winchester Model 1873 rifle represents his connection to frontier independence and self-reliance. This wasn't just any lever action. This was the weapon that earned the nickname the gun that won the West, and Bronson's character understands exactly why that reputation was earned. Chambered in .44-40 Winchester, the Model 1873 drives a 200-grain bullet at 1,190 feet per second through its 24-inch barrel, delivering 630 foot-pounds of stopping power. Weighing 8 pounds with a 15-round tubular magazine, this lever-action rifle represented the perfect balance of power, speed, and capacity that made it the definitive frontier weapon. Bronson's Chino treats this rifle as an essential tool for ranch life, not a weapon of aggression. He uses it for predator control, hunting, and protection of his property. The Winchester becomes a symbol of honest work and legitimate self-defense. When circumstances force him into conflict, the rifle transforms from tool to weapon. But the man wielding it remains the same, principled individual trying to live with dignity. The Model 1873's lever action allowed rapid follow-up shots while maintaining rifle accuracy. A skilled operator could fire all 15 rounds in under 30 seconds, with reasonable accuracy at combat distances. This firepower advantage made single individuals effective against multiple opponents, equalizing conflicts that would otherwise be one-sided. Winchester manufactured over 720,000 Model 1873 rifles between 1873 and 1924, making it one of the most successful firearms designs in history. The .44-40 Winchester cartridge became America's first truly standardized sporting cartridge, with both rifles and revolvers chambered for the same ammunition. Bronson's smooth lever manipulation throughout Chino demonstrates practice familiarity. The weapon becomes an extension of his body, operated without conscious thought. This level of integration between man and tool reflects years of daily use, reinforcing the character's authenticity as a working frontiersman. Original Winchester Model 1873 rifles in good condition command $2,500 to $8,000, depending on configuration and condition. Modern reproductions by Uberti and Winchester themselves run $1,200 to $2,000, maintaining the classic design for modern shooters. But when the situation demands precision at extreme distance, lever actions reach their limitations. Number 5. Sharps, 1874. Rifle, the long-range solution, Chatto's Land, 1972 Bronson's Pardon. Chatto faces wealthy hunters with superior numbers and resources in Chatto's Land. His survival depends on engaging them at distances where their advantages become irrelevant. The Sharps, 1874 rifle provides that capability, transforming asymmetric warfare into a contest of skill, where Chatto's intimate knowledge of his homeland gives him the edge. The Sharps, 1874's .45-70 government chambering fires a 405-grain bullet at 1,300 feet per second through its 30-inch octagonal barrel, delivering over 1,500 foot-pounds of devastating energy. Weighing 10 pounds with a single-shot falling block action, this rifle was designed for one purpose: making impossible shots at distances where other weapons became ineffective. Professional buffalo hunters use Sharps rifles to harvest thousands of animals from stands positioned hundreds of yards away. The weapon's inherent accuracy, combined with powerful long-range cartridges, made it capable of minute-of-angle precision at ranges exceeding 1,000 yards in skilled hands. For Chatto, being hunted across open desert, this capability becomes his primary tactical advantage. Bronson's character makes calculated shots from concealed positions, using terrain and distance to offset his enemy's numerical superiority. The Sharps isn't spray and pray, it's surgical precision requiring intimate knowledge of trajectory, wind deflection, and range estimation. Each shot represents careful calculation and absolute commitment, because reloading the single-shot action takes precious seconds. The Sharps falling block action provided exceptional strength and accuracy. The breech block rose vertically to seal the chamber completely, eliminating the gas leakage that plagued some competing designs. This tight seal ensured maximum velocity and consistent accuracy shot after shot. The rifle's weight helped manage the substantial recoil of the 45-70 cartridge. Original Sharps 1874 rifles in good condition command $6,000 to $18,000, with exceptional examples bringing significantly more. Modern reproductions by Shiloh Sharps and C Sharps Arms run $2,500 to $4,500, offering authentic shooting characteristics, including the distinctive Sharps tang sights. The film's armorer provided Bronson with extensive training on the Sharps rifle, ensuring authentic handling and operation on camera. This attention to detail separated Chatto's Land from typical westerns, where actors simply pointed rifles without understanding their operation. Yet sometimes overwhelming power at close range outweighs precision at distance. Number 4. Colt Walker, Maximum Intimidation, Red Sun, 1971. Red Sun pairs Bronson with Japanese actor Toshiro Mifune in an unusual East meets West adventure. Bronson's character carries the Colt Walker revolver, the largest and most powerful black powder handgun ever mass-produced. This weapon choice wasn't subtle. It was a statement about American frontier power meeting Japanese samurai tradition, and the Walker represented raw force that demanded respect. The Colt Walker's .44 caliber chambering fires a 220 grain lead ball at approximately 1,000 feet per second, generating 490 foot-pounds of energy. Weighing 4.5 pounds and measuring 15.5 inches long, this massive revolver was originally designed as a cavalry weapon, intended to be carried in saddle holsters because it was too large for practical hip carry. Captain Samuel Walker of the Texas Rangers worked directly with Samuel Colt to create this weapon after experiencing the limitations of earlier Colt revolvers in combat against Comanche warriors. The resulting design delivered rifle-like power in a handgun package, giving mounted troops devastating firepower for close-range combat. Each Walker held 6 rounds and could theoretically match the power of contemporary rifles at typical combat distances. Bronson's character wields the Walker as both practical weapon and psychological tool. When you point a 4.5-pound hand cannon at someone, it communicates absolute commitment to violence. The sheer size announces capability and intent without words. In a film exploring cultural collision between American and Japanese warrior traditions, the Walker becomes a symbol of frontier excess and power. Only about 1,100 Colt Walkers were manufactured between 1846 and 1847 before production shifted to improved designs. This rarity, combined with historical significance, makes original Walkers among the most valuable American firearms, commanding $100,000 to $350,000 at auction for authentic examples in good condition. Modern reproductions by Uberti and Pieta run $450 to $700, offering modern shooters the experience of firing these massive revolvers. The substantial recoil and weight make them challenging to shoot accurately, requiring both physical strength and proper technique. The film's use of the Walker created visual contrast with Mifune's samurai sword, establishing the fundamental differences between the cultures these weapons represented. Bronson's calm handling of this massive revolver demonstrated his character's physical capability and experience with frontier weapons, but massive handguns have limitations that rapid-fire rifles can overcome. Number 3. Spencer, 1860. Carbine, rapid-fire dominance, Guns for San Sebastian, 1968. In Guns for San Sebastian, Bronson plays Teclo, a rebel fighting against oppression in colonial Mexico. His Spencer 1860 carbine represents technological advantage in an era when most soldiers carried single-shot muskets. This weapon's rapid-fire capability transforms individual shooters into tactical forces capable of engaging multiple opponents effectively. The Spencer carbine's 56-56 Spencer chambering fires a 350 grain bullet at 1,200 feet per second, delivering over 1,000 foot-pounds of energy through its 22-inch barrel. Weighing 8.75 pounds with a 7-round tubular magazine in the buttstock, This lever-action rifle could maintain sustained fire that overwhelmed enemies equipped with slower weapons. During the American Civil War, Union cavalry armed with Spencer carbines achieved devastating tactical superiority over Confederate forces using muzzle-loading weapons. A skilled Spencer operator could fire 21 rounds per minute, compared to 3 rounds per minute for muzzle-loaders. This 7-to-1 advantage in firepower often decided engagements before they truly began. Bronson's Teklo uses the Spencer's rapid-fire capability to defend the village of San Sebastian against numerically superior forces. The weapon's distinctive loading system, with cartridges fed from the buttstock magazine, allowed shooters to maintain fire while keeping their eyes on targets. This tactical advantage proved crucial in defensive situations where multiple threats appeared simultaneously. The Spencer was one of the first successful repeating rifles adopted for military service, proving that lever-action mechanisms could withstand the rigors of combat. Christopher Spencer's design featured a falling block action operated by an external lever, creating a strong, reliable mechanism that functioned in harsh field conditions. Over 200,000 Spencer rifles and carbines were manufactured between 1860 and 1869. After the Civil War, many found their way into civilian hands, where they served on the frontier until more modern cartridge designs replaced them. The weapon's historical significance as America's first practical military repeater makes original examples valuable collectibles. Original Spencer carbines in good condition command $3,500 to $12,000, with exceptional examples bringing more. Modern reproductions by Army Sport run $1,400 to $2,200, allowing modern shooters to experience this historic design. The film's armorer ensured authentic operation and appearance, contributing to Guns for San Sebastian's reputation for historical accuracy in weaponry. Bronson's practiced handling suggested a character intimately familiar with the Spencer's operation. Yet sometimes, aesthetic design matters as much as tactical capability. Number 2. Winchester Model, 1866. Yellow Boy, The Golden Revolution, Villa Rides, 1968. Villa Rides places Bronson in the chaos of the Mexican Revolution alongside Pancho Villa. His Winchester Model 1866 Yellow Boy represents the weapon that brought repeating rifle technology to the masses. That distinctive brass receiver wasn't just aesthetically striking. It was a revolutionary design that transformed frontier warfare and made Winchester a legendary name. The Model 1866's 44 Henry rimfire chambering pushes a 200-grain bullet at 1,125 feet per second through its 24-inch octagonal barrel, creating 560 foot-pounds of energy. Weighing 9.25 pounds with a 15 to 17-round tubular magazine, this lever-action rifle gave repeating devastation that made single-shot opposition obsolete overnight. The brass frame that earned the Yellow Boy nickname provided better corrosion resistance than steel in harsh alkali dust and extreme temperatures of the Southwest. This practical advantage meant the weapon remained functional in conditions that would seize or damage steel frame designs. For revolutionaries operating with limited maintenance resources, this reliability became essential. Bronson's character wields the Yellow Boy during revolutionary combat, where its rapid-fire capability and reliability proved decisive. The lever action allows sustained fire that keeps opponents suppressed while revolutionary forces maneuver. In the chaotic, close-range combat typical of the Mexican Revolution, this firepower advantage often determined which side controlled the battlefield. Winchester manufactured approximately 170,000 Model 1866 rifles between 1866 and 1898. The design represented Benjamin Tyler Henry's improvement to his earlier Henry rifle, adding a loading gate that solved the Henry's awkward loading system. This practical refinement made the 1866 significantly more user-friendly. The Yellow Boy became iconic throughout Mexico and Latin America, where its reliability and firepower made it the weapon of choice for revolutionaries and government forces alike. Its presence in Villa Rides provided historical authenticity while creating striking visual elements, with that brass receiver catching sunlight. Original Winchester 1866 rifles command $4,000 to $15,000, depending on configuration and condition. Modern reproductions by Uberti run $1,100 to $1,800, maintaining the classic brass frame design that made the original famous. But some weapons transcend functionality to become cultural symbols of cinema itself. Number 1. Colt Peacemaker with custom grips, the harmonica song Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968. Here stands a firearm that transformed Charles Bronson from character actor into cinematic immortality. The Colt single-action army with custom ivory grips in Once Upon a Time in the West isn't just a gun. It's the physical manifestation of revenge, justice, and the dying West meeting industrialized violence. Sergio Leone didn't just give Bronson a revolver. He gave him a symbol that would define his entire career. The Peacemaker's .45 Colt chambering drives a 255 grain bullet at 860 feet per second through its 5.5-inch barrel, delivering 420 foot-pounds of stopping power. Weighing 2.5 pounds with a 6-round capacity, this weapon's true power comes not from ballistics, but from Leone's understanding that the right gun in the right hands becomes myth. Bronson's character, known only as Harmonica, carries this revolver as both weapon and musical instrument. The harmonica he constantly plays represents his past, while the Colt represents his future. The custom ivory grips weren't standard Colt equipment. They were specifically chosen to create visual contrast and suggest this particular weapon's special significance to its owner. Leone's direction transforms every appearance of this Colt into cinema poetry. The extreme close-ups of Bronson's eyes, the weathered leather holster, the deliberate draw that seems to take forever yet happens in an instant. The gun becomes part of Bronson's presence, an extension of his character's patient, implacable nature. When it finally speaks in the climactic showdown, the weight of the entire film concentrates in that single moment. The film's armorer provided multiple identical Colts to ensure continuity across months of filming. Each was carefully maintained to ensure reliable function with blank ammunition during shooting scenes. The distinctive sound of the Colt's action being cocked became as much a part of the film's audio landscape as Ennio Morricone's legendary score. Between 1873 and 1941, Colt manufactured over 357,000 single-action Army revolvers, but none achieved the legendary status of Bronson's screen gun. In his hands, this simple machine became the physical embodiment of vengeance delayed but never forgotten. When Harmonica finally reveals why he's hunted Henry Fonda's character, the Colt completes its purpose, delivering justice that existed before the film began and continues after it ends. Original Colt Peacemakers with period ivory grips command $15,000 to $40,000, depending on condition and provenance. Modern reproductions with ivory-style grips run $1,500 to $3,000. The actual prop guns from Once Upon a Time in the West are considered priceless artifacts of cinema history, residing in private collections and museums. Leone's film elevated the Western genre from entertainment to art, and Bronson's Peacemaker was essential to that transformation. The gun didn't just shoot bullets. It fired symbols, mythology, and the collective consciousness of every Western that came before. Charles Bronson's Western firearms reveal a truth that separates great actors from legends. The weapon doesn't make the man, but the man's relationship with his weapon reveals his soul. From the foundation of the single-action army to the mythological power of Harmonica's Peacemaker, each firearm reflected Bronson's understanding that silence, patience, and absolute competence communicate more than dialogue ever could. Bronson succeeded where other actors merely performed, because he understood authenticity isn't about looking dangerous. It's about being dangerous. His characters don't threaten, they promise. They don't posture, they prepare. And when the moment arrives, they deliver with mechanical precision and moral certainty. From the lever-action reliability of Winchester rifles to the intimidating presence of Colt Walkers, each weapon choice reflected character development that most actors never achieve. Bronson made you believe these weren't props selected by studio armorers. They were tools chosen by men whose lives depended on superior equipment and absolute skill. The pattern across Bronson's career demonstrates commitment to authenticity that elevated every Western he touched. Whether playing Apache warriors, Mexican revolutionaries, or Leone's mythological anti-heroes, he demanded historically accurate weapons wielded with professional competence. This attention to detail separated his films from generic westerns and established his reputation as cinema's most authentic gunfighter. In Bronson's hands, steel and lead became instruments of justice, vengeance, and survival. His legacy endures not just in the films he made, but in how those films treated firearms as extensions of character rather than action props. That's not acting. That's becoming the weapon itself. Which Charles Bronson gun defined your image of frontier justice? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for more deep dives into the authentic weapons that built cinema's greatest legends. Because the real power wasn't in the guns, it was in the man holding them with absolute certainty.